The weight of words. In a bustling town nestled between rolling hills and a serene river, there lived a humble cobbler. The cobbler's shop was small and unassuming, tucked between a bakery and a bookshop. What set the cobbler apart was not just the craft but the words. They had a way of speaking that could either soothe a storm or spark a wildfire in someone's heart. One crisp autumn morning, a young boy entered the cobbler's shop. Known for being shy and withdrawn, the boy often endured the cruel jests of his peers. He handed over a pair of worn-out shoes, his head bowed low. These shoes have served you well, said the cobbler kindly. Look at the soles, they've walked many miles. That's a sign of perseverance. The boy's eyes lit up, a small smile forming. Really? They're just old shoes. The cobbler shook their head. Old? Perhaps. But valuable. Just like you. Never let anyone make you feel less than you are. The boy left the shop that day walking taller, the cobbler's words echoing in his mind. Later that day, a merchant stormed into the shop. You call this craftsmanship? The merchant bellowed, tossing a pair of boots on the counter. The cobbler, unruffled, inspected the boots. The stitching held, the leathers intact. What troubles you? The soles wore out too quickly, snapped the merchant. The cobbler looked the merchant in the eye. Perhaps they carry too much weight. Heavy words and heavier tempers burden a person and their boots alike. The merchant's face reddened, but they said nothing more, retreating with the boots in hand. The encounter stayed with them, and over time, they became gentler in their dealings. Weeks turned into months, and the cobbler's words continued to ripple through the community. The baker next door stopped berating the apprentice and began teaching with patience. The bookshop owner, inspired by the cobbler's wisdom, started a free reading club for children. One winter evening, a traveler arrived at the shop. The traveler, cloaked in a thick coat, seemed weary but kind. I've heard tales of a cobbler who mends not just shoes but souls, said the traveler. Is it true? The cobbler chuckled. I mend what I can. Sometimes it's shoes, sometimes it's spirits. What brings you here? The traveler hesitated. I'm a storyteller, but lately my words feel empty. People say I've lost my touch. The cobbler handed the traveler a simple pair of sandals. Walk through the market in these. Listen to the sounds, feel the cobblestones. Words find meaning when they come from experience. The traveler did as advised. They wandered the market, observing the laughter of children, the haggling of merchants, and the quiet determination of laborers. When they returned, their eyes were alight. You're right, said the traveler. Stories are not just told, they're lived. The cobbler smiled. And lived stories carry weight. Use your words wisely. The traveler's tales became renowned, filled with depth and emotion. They often credited the cobbler who reminded them of the weight of words. Years passed, and the cobbler's influence grew quietly but profoundly. The shop remained small, the work simple, but the words left an indelible mark. People began to speak more kindly, listen more deeply, and treat each other with newfound respect. On the day the cobbler passed away, the entire town gathered to honor them. The once shy boy, now a confident young adult, spoke at the gathering. The cobbler taught us all a simple truth: words can heal or harm. They can lift us or break us. Let's honor them by choosing to lift each other. The town continued to thrive, bound by the lessons of a humble cobbler who understood the true weight of words.